The sound of metal boots striking marble echoed through the great corridor of the Thalrune citadel. Each step brought me closer to the queen, and perhaps to my death. The guards surrounding me, tall reptilian creatures draped in crimson armor, said nothing. Their four-fingered hands gripped their plasma pikes tightly, the faint hum of energy vibrating in the air. My wrists were bound by luminous chains that pulsed with faint blue light, a technology beyond anything we humans had managed to create. I tried not to struggle. The chains reacted to resistance by constricting, as though alive. My breath came shallowly as the great obsidian doors loomed ahead, carved with symbols that glowed faintly like molten gold. A guard barked something guttural, and the doors opened with a hiss. A rush of incense-like air filled my lungs, sharp, metallic, tinged with spice. The throne room of Queen Zerathra lay before me. It was vast, cathedral-like, with columns of shimmering crystal and rivers of liquid light running through the floor. The ceiling arched into infinity, constellations projected above like a living night sky. And there she sat, the alien queen herself, upon a throne grown from what looked like bone and starlight. Queen Zerathra was unlike anything I'd ever seen, and yet, there was something painfully familiar about her. Her form was humanoid but ethereal, tall, elegant, with skin the color of nebulae, a swirl of violet, silver, and faint blue. Her eyes, enormous and luminous, glowed gold like twin suns. A crown of crystalline filaments floated above her head, humming softly. I dropped to my knees as the guards forced me forward. The air felt charged, like standing too close to a thunderstorm. "This is the human who dared breach our star lanes," one of the guards said in Thalrune, a language I'd learned in fragments during my captivity. The queen's gaze fixed on me. I could feel her mind brushing against mine. A soft, invasive whisper. My heart pounded. "Unbind him," she said suddenly. Her voice was musical, resonating in the air and inside my skull. The guards hesitated. "My queen, this creature." "Do it." They obeyed. The chains dissolved into light and vanished. My wrists ached from the pressure, but the sudden freedom felt unreal. I bowed my head. "Your Majesty," I managed to say, my voice echoing strangely. Then something impossible happened. The queen rose. Her attendants gasped softly. It was clear this was not part of any plan. She descended the steps of her throne with a grace that made the air shimmer around her, her long robes whispering like silk and wind. Her golden eyes widened as she approached me. "That voice," she murmured almost to herself. "It cannot be." Froze. "You know me." Her gaze seemed to pierce through me, seeing beyond flesh, beyond time. "Not you as you are," she said, circling slowly. "But the resonance, the pattern of your voice. It is ancient. It is from before the Sundering." I didn't know what to say. I was just a pilot, or so I thought. My ship, the Aurelian, had been dragged out of hyperspace by the Thalrune's gravity snare 3 weeks ago. I'd expected interrogation, maybe execution. Not this. She stopped before me. "Speak again," she commanded. My mouth went dry. What do you want me to say?" Her eyes fluttered closed. "Say my name." I hesitated, then whispered, "Zerathra." The throne room trembled. The lights in the crystalline columns flickered. A low hum filled the air, the same resonance I'd felt when the chains bound me, but deeper, more primal. The queen gasped as if struck, and the glow in her eyes flared brighter. The guards fell to their knees. The air smelled of ozone and storm. When the vibration ceased, she looked at me with awe. "You are not merely human," she said softly. "You are the echo of the architect." And blinked. "The what?" She motioned to her attendants who scurried out, sealing the chamber. Then she turned back to me, her expression unreadable. Long before your species learned to dream, she said, the architects shaped the galaxies. They built the gates that thread our stars together. And when the great collapse came, they vanished, leaving only fragments of their code scattered in the genetic memory of lesser races. She moved closer until her face was inches from mine. Her breath shimmered like mist. Your voice carries that code. It is the frequency that awakens the Thalrune throne. I laughed, though it came out as a shaky whisper. That's insane. I'm just a pilot. Were you? She asked, tilting her head. Or were you guided here? Her question hung heavy in the air. My mind flashed back to the malfunction in hyperspace, the coordinates that appeared on my nav screen without cause, the dream I'd had of a glowing woman calling my name through the void. Maybe I had been guided. What happens now? I asked quietly. She looked at me for a long moment. Now, human, you must decide whether to awaken what sleeps beneath this world, or to leave it buried. The days that followed blurred into ritual and revelation. I was given quarters overlooking the shining city of Sereth Kor, where rivers of plasma wound between towers like veins of light. The Queen visited me often, asking about Earth, about our wars, our dreams, our songs. Each time I spoke, I saw her tremble slightly, as though my voice touched some hidden chord within her. She taught me about the Starforge buried beneath the Citadel, a machine older than her empire, dormant for millennia. It could reshape worlds, heal dying suns, or destroy entire systems. Only the voice of the architect could wake it. And somehow that was me. But power like that comes with a price. One night, under a sky of 3 moons, she came to my chamber, her eyes softer than I'd ever seen. If you activate the forge, she said, it will link to your consciousness. It will remake what you desire. But it will burn you away in the process. I met her gaze. Then why ask me to do it? Because, she whispered, my people are dying. Our star fades. Without the forge, all of this, she gestured to the glittering skyline, will vanish. Silence stretched between us. And in that silence, something passed between us. Not quite love, not quite destiny, but the recognition of 2 beings bound by something older than either could name. At dawn, I stood before the forge. It was colossal, a sphere of pure light suspended in an endless chamber, humming like a heartbeat. The Queen stood beside me, her crown dimmed. Speak, she said softly, and let the stars remember. I drew a breath, the air crackling around me. Then I spoke, not words but tones rising and falling in a rhythm that came from somewhere beyond thought. The sphere responded. Light erupted outward in ribbons, washing over the chamber. The ground trembled as energy surged toward the heavens. The Queen's eyes filled with tears. It hears you, she whispered. Pain seared through me white hot, like my very atoms were unraveling. But even as my vision blurred, I saw her. Radiant, transformed, the colors of her skin shifting like dawn breaking. And then there was only light. When I awoke, I was lying beneath a different sky, a younger sun blazing above a reborn world. The air was warm, alive. The Queen stood beside me, no longer spectral, but flesh and blood, her eyes filled with quiet sorrow. You saved us, she said. I tried to speak, but my voice was a whisper. And Earth. She smiled faintly. In time they will see the stars again. Because of you. As the horizon burned gold, she reached for my hand. Come.